Hey guys, it's Study and welcome back to Comic Space, and today's update is just not quite an interesting one, but it is actually a major insight of what the landscape of 616 and the multiverse in general is going to look like well after we are done with the multiverse saga and the grand conclusion that we are all headed towards, and that is Avengers Secret Wars. The aftermath of Secret Wars, it is going to be the most interesting, and it is just going to be insane of how Marvel Studios is actually planning to do things, and it also hints to us that Marvel Studios can also be planning recasting some of these roles from the times of the Infinity Saga, and I am talking about the OG Avengers characters such that Iron Man, such that Captain, and characters like that. Marvel Studios can potentially be looking to reintroduce them with a soft reboot of the MCU after the Secret Wars and recast those characters as well. So a major update that we need to talk about. So again, this is not something, again, I won't say this is something much more of a concrete thing that we can again go about it, but a lot of the sources and the rumor has been hinting towards that potential recasting of iconic characters from the days of the Infinity Saga. And again, I think it isn't quite an obvious fact as well. Everyone have kind of foresaw that fact that Marvel Studios is for sure going to head towards a soft reboot after we are done with the Multiverse Saga and Secret Wars and everything that comes with it, with the addition of the Fantastic Four, with the mutants, with the X-Men coming into our main 616 continuity. And if you haven't seen the recent video that I just put out with Marvel Studios and Sony also planning that they will merge 616 continuity and the Sony Spider-Man universe into one singular universe, and then they will continue all of these characters and the storylines within the MCU. So we are not going to have these two separate universes with Sony doing their own thing, which again is not giving them the results, the ones they want. So they are obviously going to merge with our main 616 continuity and continue the stories with Spider-Man and all of the characters that are related to it. So again, when we are talking all of these things, and when we are talking Marvel Studios and Sony's this major crossover event and this merger of all of these stories into one continuity, and the recasting of all of these Infinity Saga icons, it makes complete sense that Marvel can be moving forward. It makes complete sense that Sony can be moving forward with this plan as well, because they have Avengers Secret Wars on the horizon, and that is their golden and probably one chance that they have where they can actually take some steps towards doing that and doing stuff like that, even recasting, merging with the other universes and making MCU 616 continuity more like the comic version of our main 616 continuity, and get a lot more closer to it and what that adaptation looks like with all of these characters involved. With again merging with Sony Spider-Man universe, which again lifts such a restriction out of Marvel Studios and they can go all over again. And I think that is the same thing. Obviously they already have X-Men within the MCU and Fox universe, so they have figured it out, and leading up to the Avengers Secret Wars and after that, and making this cinematic universe much more closer to what the comics universe looks like. With all of these things going on, and again, by the way, we are still quite far out from Avengers Doomsday, let alone talking about Secret Wars, it makes complete sense, and we are getting these updates and all of these rumors coming up because Marvel Studios is for sure talking about it. They are for sure having discussion about it because they have that chance, they have that opportunity where they can do this kind of major changes and not having to over explain it, or they don't have to go through a lot of storytelling conflicts to make sense out of everything, because again, that's their chance. But that's what we are talking about here, the opportunity and the expansion of what Marvel Studios can do, because again, I think that is a quite thing, because it's not something that what Sony or Fox can do. Is just the fact that it allows Marvel Studios to do a lot more with these characters, and it is the fact that they're thinking to recast all of these iconic characters from the days of the Infinity Saga, which again, I'm really kind of on the seesaw on that front, because anyhow we are for sure up for a soft reboot, but again, going completely back to the base one, to the inning one, it is a quite different thing. And it is still, even though it is quite the reboot, and we are thinking that when Reed Richards is going to fix the multiverse, when they're going to restructure the multiverse, when they're going to restructure the main 616 continuity, it is 100% is going to be looking a lot more different than it did, which again is going to include addition of all of the other heroes, Fantastic Four and X-Men and mutants and everything that comes with it. But again, it will also leave you with the question, what happens to Sam Wilson's Captain America, who just kinda arrived, still haven't got his feature length film yet, which we are about to. But again, with the characters that you have set up with IRONHEART, who are the legacy characters, who are continuing the mantle of all of these iconic characters. But again, I think it has to be one of those things that Marvel is not concrete on. I don't think so anyone have something any concrete on, but they're having discussion about it, because obviously the scripts for Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars are still being finalized before we head into the production by next year. So when that happens, when those films get into production, we will get some more insights and more info and more rumors about what is happening with those films. We will get a much more clearer picture of what would look like the aftermath of Secret Wars, which I keep talking about it, but again I think that is such an interesting aspect to talk about it, because the aftermath of Secret Wars is going to be such a fun thing, and how Marvel Studios is going to start building towards the mutant saga, because I think we are pretty much done with the multiverse saga. We only have one film left, and that is the Fantastic Four, and obviously we are going to have Spider-Man 4 and Doctor Strange 3 coming around it. But again, the clock for the Doomsday, for me, it already have begun, and with the Fantastic Four, I think it is just the completion of the multiverse saga. So again, I think it makes sense that everybody is planning and putting their pens up to figure it out how the aftermath of Secret Wars is going to be looking like. So I think it is time for me to see you guys off on this one. I'm so glad that you guys got the time to hear me out. Thanks for listening to me. This is your host Adi signing off. See you in the next one.